Because before I read you some quotes, I want to also read you why I'm saying this to you. Remember when I brought up the 2024 U.S. Olympic roster, how she was left off of that, and how stupid that was for Team USA women's basketball to leave her off? Remember I said that? They said this is where they're going now. Ms. Clark's targeting may reflect a culture of disparate treatment, and the evidence provides reasonable cause for a federal probe into potential civil rights violations.
Caitlin Clark has been getting knocked around the WNBA, like a piñata at a toddler's birthday party, and now Stephen A. Smith is hotter than a microwave burrito at halftime. After watching her get hacked so many times, he declared it a civil rights crisis in high tops. This isn't basketball anymore. It's bumper cars with a shot clock, and Stephen A. He's not just reacting, he's preaching. Loud, wild, unfiltered. You've never seen him this unhinged. And yes, it's even funnier than you're imagining. Buckle up. This one's pure scorched earth.
I had to talk about a story that's very, very important. And albeit indirectly, it involves Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself.
Let's get this straight. Stephen A. Smith just watched Caitlin Clark play an entire WNBA game and basically said, No, I want subpoenas. I want Cheryl Swoops on the witness stand. Somebody hand me a gavel, because we're about to turn this into Law and Order, WNBA Victims Unit. And honestly, what else can you do when the league's brightest star is getting stomped, smacked, hip-checked, and eye-poked like she's trying to dribble through the cast of Mortal Kombat?
And I feel bad because it seems like the sisters are bullying the little girls, or the older players are bullying the younger girls. I don't want to make it about race because I've seen white girls bullying the young white girls. I've seen the black girls bullying the young white girls.
Sure, you can nitpick Caitlin Clark's stats all day, debate her usage rate, field goal percentage plus minus per RPM, CPR, FBI, CIA, whatever alphabet soup you want to toss in there. But that's not the point. The point is, the WNBA finally had a golden ticket to mainstream relevance, their Michael Jordan moment. And they handed her straight over to the Goon Squad.
Let me read to y'all the opening couple of graphs, because I want you to hear the impact of this. This is serious. This is serious. And I could say it with my team here, having the footage and the receipts to back me up. I could be in that I told you so mode. I really, really could. But I ain't going to do that because I'm in a good mood. I'm going to be chill. But I could be saying.
And Stephen A., oh bless him, he's on national television acting like this is the Selma March in sneakers. Veins bulging from his forehead like the Wi-Fi just crashed mid-broadcast because he knows if the WNBA drops this bag, it's headed right back to being aired on Channel Who Asked at 2:15 a.m., sandwiched between Matlock reruns and infomercials for waterproof socks.
Caitlin Clark has done for the women's NBA what Michael Jordan once did for the NBA. Made it more valuable, watchable, and marketable. Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting
and yes,
of
somewhere in a smoky group chat, there's probably a WNBA player typing. She's got to earn her respect while setting a hard screen with enough force to realign tectonic plates because apparently, in today's game, earning respect means surviving for quarters of blunt force trauma.
Treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into legal liability for the WNBA. Okay, well, get this. Get this. We're watching this play out. Caitlin Clark's been hurt. We're watching in front of our very eyes how differently these teams are treating the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark on the court. I mean, let's just be real. It's been much different.
Let's walk through this. You've got a rookie pulling ratings the league hasn't seen since it was launched, with nothing but pure hope and a 1990s fax machine. She's packing arenas, drawing new fans, making headlines, creating actual buzz. And what's her reward? An eye poke, a trip from behind, a slam to the floor. And, just for kicks, she's the one who gets the technical foul. Oh, the logic. Somewhere in an alternate universe, Dennis Rodman is looking at the WNBA like, even I wouldn't go that far. But don't worry, Stephen A. is on the case, calling it exactly what it is, and the internet. Oh, it's on fire with takes like, she flops, she needs to toughen up, and what about all the other players who've suffered? Ah, yes, the Olympics of victimhood, the Hunger Games of who deserves empathy, where the prize is watching someone else get decked and saying, well, I had it worse, so shut up. What we're watching is an entire league trying to eat its own future, like someone handed them a golden goose. And they said, cool, let's make wings. Out of it?
WNBA. Y'all are in trouble. I told y'all. Y'all didn't want to protect my precious CC. Now y'all getting hit with a civil lawsuit for targeting. You hear me? And then this stuff is documented. That don't even make no sense from players just speaking freely, thinking that they won't have no consequences. That means somebody had them on the payroll. You know what I'm saying? She done had 4 injuries within like a month and a half. Disgusting.
And please, spare us the physicality as part of the game's speech. We've seen physical, we've seen playoff basketball, we've seen elbows, box outs, and legitimate hard fouls. This isn't that. This is the WNBA's unofficial new rule. Book, if she's popular, make her regret it. Meanwhile, somewhere on a podcast nobody asked for, a player is probably saying people only like her because she's white. Which, wow, what a way to reduce years of dedication, pressure, and hard work into a Netflix documentary called White Girl Dribbles must be a conspiracy. Jealousy in sports is nothing new. But this isn't I want to outplay you. This is I want to body slam you and then complain that I didn't get the Gatorade commercial. We've officially entered the WWE era of basketball, just without the production value. Or the Rock shouting, if you smell, and let's be honest, Caitlin Clark isn't the problem here. The refs. Oh, don't even get us started. The officiating has been pure whack-a-call, with less consistency than a toddler's bedtime routine.
Months ago. Remember I talked about people being jealous? The Cheryl Swoops of the world and others. Remember I pointed that stuff out? Remember I talked about the rough housing? Remember I talked about all of that? Let me read further. This would mirror the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission investigation into the Erica Hamby's pregnancy discrimination claims against the WNBA and her team. Congress and Labor and Justice departments would be justified in examining the facts. At Harvard and Columbia, during anti-Semitic protests, institutional leaders played down threats and failed to protect.
One play, she gets hammered like a clearance nail at Home Depot. Nothing, no whistle. The very next play, she gives someone a look, Tesh and ICL. Are we even pretending anymore? These refs are officiating like they graduated from UFC judge school. Meanwhile, ESPN is trying to spin it as her learning the ropes. Oh really? Learning the ropes. She's out here getting clotheslined like it's * Monday Night Raw, and you're selling it as some quirky rite of passage. Stephen A. wasn't buying it. You could practically see the Brooklyn leaving his body, replaced by pure, righteous fury, the kind normally reserved for disastrous Knicks trades, or the moment Skip Bayless opens his mouth. He called it exactly what it was, sabotage. And not even the clever kind, a clumsy, obvious, jealous little sabotage that risks turning the WNBA into a meme before it ever breaks into the mainstream. The saddest part? Caitlin Clark just keeps playing through it. No whining, no tantrums, just hooping. And hooping well better than half the league's bitter benchwarmers who think defense means attempted homicide. And yet somehow, it's still not enough, because to some, she hasn't earned it. Ah yes, the sacred, ever-shifting Vegas smoke definition of earning it. Which, in this case, translates to, we just don't like that people like you.
In the league, who was top 4 in MVP voting last year, the assist leader last year, galvanizing talent that has done wonders for the NBA. If she is seen to be physically getting abused on a basketball court in a way that is such a clear and flagrant discrepancy compared to what happens to others, that man is not going.
You could drop Caitlin Clark into the middle of a volcano, have her drain a three-pointer while being dive-tackled by a pterodactyl, and someone would still say she needs to prove herself more. It's turned into unintentional dark slapstick. Like watching someone tumble down a flight of stairs while insisting, "I'm a professional." Let's be real. This is what happens when ego and insecurity meet in a back alley and decide to jump the future of women's basketball. The problem isn't just the fouls, it's the silence. Where's the outrage? Where are the statements? Oh, that's right. Everyone's too busy tweeting cryptic nonsense about protecting the game, while simultaneously body-checking the only player keeping the league relevant and the league office. Radio silent, like they're hoping, if they ignore the concussion protocol violations long enough, they'll just vanish into the void. Imagine if LeBron had been treated like this his rookie year. Let him fend for himself. He's just a rookie. He can take it. Sure, Clark's tough, no doubt about that. You'd have to be to play with a target on your back every night while somehow getting blamed for everything, from racial tensions to player pay disparity to apparently the global water shortage.
The kind of stuff that's happening and has been happening over the last few months is because of Caitlin Clark. I got some of the stats in front of me to validate it. Because you see, I bring receipts. And I'll get to why I'm really pissed off in a few minutes. WNBA Draft 2024 drew 2.446 million viewers to ESPN on Monday night, making it the most watched draft in WNBA history. Who's the number one overall pick? Huh, Aaron? Who's the number one overall pick? Say it loud.
You'd think she was personally responsible for every social injustice on Earth. Meanwhile, she's just out here getting smacked in the face for daring to hit open threes. And Stephen A., he's not just outraged, he's disappointed. Can hear it in his voice, the frustration of someone who's seen too many athletes chewed up by bitterness and bad management. He's saying, this ain't it, because at ISN single quotes, this isn't competition. It's petty vengeance dressed up as physicality. And yes, the truth stings. Caitlin Clark gets more coverage. Yes, she lands the endorsement deals. Yes, she's the headline. But here's the thing. That spotlight could have been shared, leveraged, turned into a rising tide that lifted everyone. Instead, we've got WWE meets WNBA, where half the league thinks they're Stone Cold Steve Austin, and fans are expected to cheer when the rookie gets powerbombed. Let's be clear, this isn't about favoritism. It's about sabotage. And the only people profiting from it are chiropractors and YouTube channels making slow-mo breakdowns of fouls that somehow didn't get called. The league should be ashamed, not just for letting it happen, but for pretending it isn't.
This girl is a superstar. I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball, college or pro. She is a superstar. I had the pleasure of doing an event with her on campus at Iowa a few months ago. I went there for my man Mark Shapiro, and I had a blast. She and I were on a panel together. She's a wonderful, wonderful young lady, incredibly poised, but this woman is the nation's leading scorer, averaging 31.5 points per game, shooting 40% from threes.
Stephen A. is furious because he knows exactly what this could have been. He's seen entire leagues rise and fall on the backs of stars. And now he's watching one toss its golden goose straight into a wood chipper just because she didn't ask for permission to be great. So yeah, he wants witnesses. He wants receipts. He wants the Department of Justice, Nancy Grace, and maybe even Judge Judy to step in and say, asterisk, what in the actual hell is going on here? Asterisk, because Caitlin Clark is getting mugged in broad daylight, mid-game, and the response from some corners is to yell, flop. If you can watch that and say, asterisk, she's overhyped. Asterisk, congratulations, you're not critiquing basketball, you're cheerleading dysfunction. Stephen A's yelling because someone has to. Someone needs to scream into the void while the WNBA takes its once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and turns it into a live stunt show for a league that can't decide whether to thank its star or body slam her into next week. And when the documentary drops, years from now, when the league is gasping for relevance, someone's going to say, asterisk, maybe we should have protected the only player people were actually watching. Asterisk, but hey, who needs ratings when you've got vendettas, right?
Treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into a legal liability for the WNBA. Since she joined the league last year, Ms. Clark's impact has been seismic. Merchandise sales soared 601%. Indiana Fever viewership jumped 170%. The team's value tripled. League Pass subscriptions climbed 366.
Just when you think it couldn't get any dumber, oh, it absolutely does. Now we've got pundits, players, and people who haven't touched a basketball since middle school acting like they're professors of WNBA philosophy. Suddenly, everyone's an expert on earning your place, as if Caitlin Clark needs to wash jerseys, pull luggage, and solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Before she's allowed to be treated like a human being on the court, the whole welcome to the league spiel is getting tossed around like a tired VHS cliché from 1983. She's got to pay her dues. What is this? The mob? Did she join a basketball league or the Sopranos? Because paying dues here sounds a lot like get assaulted while we pretend it's character building. Meanwhile, half the league is walking around with a chip on their shoulder the size of a regulation backboard. And this is what passes for basketball. Elbows flying like a Jackie Chan fight scene. Players hitting the floor harder than LeBron in award season, and somehow the one getting decked is the one getting whistled. You can't gaslight people in 4K. We've all seen the footage. Caitlin Clark is basically playing dodgeball with human limbs, taking hit after hit, and still being told she's soft. If that's soft, then porcelain dolls have been getting a bad rap for centuries.
In Caitlin Clark's world, which is so unfortunate, I feel sorry for Caitlin Clark because she's a pawn of this whole thing, and I think Caitlin Clark needs to speak up. I'm tired of her being silent. I know she's trying to be like this Gandhi figure, try to be like MLK, passive aggressiveness, but peaceful. I get it, but
the WNBA isn't just gatekeeping anymore, it's bracing the door shut with a crowbar, while lobbing rocks at anyone trying to come in. Asterisk, oh, you want to support women's sports? Awesome, just not her. Asterisk, she's too popular, too different, too white, too well-liked, too successful. Heaven forbid someone actually makes women's basketball cool. No better to drag her down to our level instead. Here's the bottom line. If this league doesn't wise up fast, if they keep letting this nonsense fester, they're going to wake up one day and find Caitlin Clark gone playing overseas, retiring early, burned out, injured, or just flat out done with the circus. And when that day comes, they can pat themselves on the back and smugly say, asterisk, well, at least she didn't get special treatment. Bravo. If Stephen A. Smith wants to turn this into a courtroom drama, maybe he should, because someone needs to be put on trial for how this turned from a golden opportunity into a violent, toxic, and flat-out stupid mess.